Solve et Coagula, ad infinitum, a dissolution tale. The day I finally got the joke was the very day I died. It was the very moment I really saw, did the truth finally meet my eyes. An internal pressure was building, it had been, in fact, for years. A seeker's drive to understand, and the cause for many tears. This one did want expression, to finally see my petals unfurl. But again and again anything I tried to build, huge obstacles Gaia would hurl. For what felt like a lifetime, all my dreams were crushed, over and over again, most lovingly into dust. That was the most confusing part of this whole thing, the underlying feeling of rightness in this terrible sting. Though never in the moment, but always looking back, can you see the imperfections from the path where you did crack? That the drive that did once own you and fill you from within would have altered your trajectory and dimmed the light within. It seems nature is here to make us grow despite our mules and whines. The tragedies and hardships she bring are what begins to grow our spines. As most beings argue logically about bypassing this very thing, and spend most every ounce of mind in planning its avoiding, I wonder if they have noticed yet how nature always seems to have the last laugh, that no matter the planning or preparations taken, waves are coming for your raft. As in calm seas you soften and begin to lose your form, and Gaia just cannot let this be, she wants to raise you above the norm. And so she will attempt to sink you and drag you to the depths, for she believes with utter faith that you can pass this test. And when you breach the surface and drink in the spirit of air, you see the tragedy has honed you, forced upgrades to hardware. As you gather yourself back together and begin to look around, you notice that your eyes have changed, and so has the nature of sound. For a true testing in this realm often burns much of the old self away, anything that could not be justified or hold its shape when in the fray. Meet these pressures long enough, and soon you begin to see. The being you are has shed so much of the old, like bark falling from a tree. And so this day, when I got the joke, and finally began to see, I saw my past laid out before me, my wants and trivialities. Okay, I get it. I am not here for me. Anything I try to build, you'll lovingly tear from me. My games and passions and musings, my sparkly but flat desires, never once did you approve of my tending these silly fires. Always you demanded more, and wanted to see me shine, but relentlessly I'd avoid this light, scurrying into the dark to hide, until this day when I got the joke, and laughed and cried as one. All right, you win, I get the damn joke, it's as obvious as the sun. To be addressed as what I really am, a mere unit of a greater whole, a single cell of the cosmos, temporarily convinced of this body's vitriol. The universal body had addressed me, it seemed it was my time, for voluntary apoptosis, a process that keeps reality free from grime. As in the human body, should a single cell refuse this call, is to birth into reality the beast we call cancer, and inner health to fall. A fractal pattern is emerging in real time and every day, and its perfection depends on each individual's correct action in this display. Of course, this all sounds quite complex, but really it's very clear. Dissonance is all we must avoid to stop being a cancer here. Merely to be decent, to uphold your own base shape, is to become the Uberman, to evolve from the man-ape. So I swallowed my pride and drank this in. I could see it all so clear, and honestly this changed everything. Now only my own drives I'd fear, and always put them to the test. What does this action bring? Am I of benefit or deficit here? And I'd listen for the truth's ring. I remember this day so clearly. All right, Gaia, I cried, you win. I am obviously not here for me, and drank the truth of that like a spring. Now in the dirt, looking up at trees, we spoke for a time. I pledged myself to reality, and a soul contract we defined. The thing that was most humbling was the clarity in response, the sharpness of my mind here, and since this strange renaissance. Nothing is the same now, nor shall it ever be. Divinity and magic now fill every rock, stream, and tree. The intelligence that rules this place humbles me again and again, and I'll never again doubt the rightness of pain and hardship, now that Gaia and I are friends.